Hello everybody, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is ChitChad and welcome back to another episode of Planet Coaster. Here on the channel, we are working on a Super Mario theme park, specifically working on a Luigis Mansion area to the park, making the Luigis Mansion dark ride, and 2 episodes in 1 week. Didn't think it was possible, and in fact, if it wasn't for the upgrade to my computer, wouldn't have been possible. But here it is, 2 episodes this week on the channel for Planet Coaster. I'm exhausted. It's very early in the morning because I basically had the footage processing overnight so that I could do the VO in the morning, the day that it's going to be released. So to say that this has been pushed to like the limit of my capacity to get things done is putting it lightly. I think if I were to ever do this in the future, which I might want to attempt to do 2 Planet Coaster videos a week on the channel, is to do one way earlier in the week and then the other one on like, Friday. So I might play around with that idea a little bit. I'm not making any promises. I know there's a lot of people that really like the Planet Coaster content here on the channel. Just keep in mind, because it does discourage me just a little bit when I get comments on my other videos saying like, oh, make more Planet Coaster. Well, I would love to. It's just, it's a lot of work, and I do want to do other things. Like, I love making Planet Coaster videos, don't get me wrong, but when I get like the really demandy comments for it, it does discourage me a little bit and makes me feel like my other stuff isn't worthwhile or worth watching, and that can get you down a little bit. So I was just gonna be transparent, and I know I talked about this in the past. I just have to bring it up every once in a while because I get some really snarky comments, and I just want to promote like really cool, really fun atmosphere, and let's all be like super cool friends here and just have fun making content. So no negativity, just wanted to throw that out there that I do other things besides Planet Coaster. In fact, if you would be super awesome to check out my other channel where I do artwork, I do voiceover content, and I do animation stuff, and I actually do in combination projects between the 2 channels. I do stuff on this channel for the theme park, and then I'll make the animations on my other channel. So if that kind of stuff interests you and you want to see how I do some of the art and the animation, check out my other channel, because I do a lot of that stuff, and we're going to be doing a lot with the Luigi's Mansion ride, because we're going to be adding in the ghosts. We're going to have like a final encounter area with like the main big bad boss from Luigi's Mansion, and then we're also going to have Mario inside of the portrait. So there's going to be a lot of animation that's going to have to be done for this ride, and I'm really excited for it, because again, it's going to be combining multiple passions of mine into like one big mega conglomerate project, and it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of work. So I think I might want to try and speed the process up with this a little bit, like I said, and potentially do 2 Planet Coaster episodes a week. Again, I don't want to promise that because my schedule is a bit out of whack right now, as I'm like trying to find freelance projects and stuff like that. So I can't make like super duper promises, and that's mainly the reason why I like doing some of the other Let's Play content on this channel, including Sonic Mania, which needs to be finalized because I'm on the last episode of that, and I need to finish up recording that. And then of course Cuphead, which is like my new favorite game right now. I love that game so much. It's so freaking difficult, but it's like one of those kind of difficulties that you can do it, you can win, you can beat it. You just have to keep trying. You have to keep practicing. It's got that very much like Mega Man X. Mega Man X for me was that game where I knew I could beat it. It was difficult when I was playing it as a kid, but I knew I could beat it, so I just had to keep practicing, keep fighting Sigma over and over and over again until I figured out his patterns. Cuphead is just like that. It's just that right level of difficulty where it's not impossible, you can do it, you just have to keep playing it. And there's so many times I go over my time limit when I'm recording. Normally I like to keep my episodes on my Let's Play stuff around 12 to 15 minutes because I feel like you start losing people after that. But I go over that pretty consistently because I'm just like, I have to try one more time. I do not want to press the end record button. I have to play this game one more time. So I've been having a lot of fun with that. And but Planet Coaster's basically been my week this week, trying to get these 2 episodes out on time. And they're a bit shorter than some of my other Planet Coaster content, and I actually think that's going to work for its benefit. So another thing too, if I do decide to make 2 Planet Coaster episodes a week, I'll probably shorten them up a little bit. Normally they run between 20 to 22 minutes, sometimes even 25 minutes, and that's a long time. It's a long time to process the footage. It's a long time for me to record a VO, which is why I trail off like this a lot, because I don't know what else to talk about. So I just kind of talk about whatever's on the top of my, my brain, my head at the moment. And right now it was just talking about, once again, kind of the difficulties of not having just a Planet Coaster only channel, because I never want to do that, because I just have to have other interests and I have to have other things to do, because if I get stuck doing the same thing over and over again, I'm gonna go stir crazy. But I love doing this stuff. It's just super duper time consuming, and trying to figure out this dark ride especially, oh my gosh, like I actually had like a pen and paper and I was trying to like draw up schematics like I was some kind of freaking engineer or layout artist, and I'm just like, okay, how am I gonna make this work? And there's several times where I decided to because there were several times I was erasing and then I was drawing and then I was erasing. I'm like, how am I gonna make this work? And then finally I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna lay everything out in Planet Coaster, and I'm gonna use just the black walls and the black ceiling tiles to kind of lay out exactly where everything's gonna go. And towards the end of this video you will see we completely enclose this structure, because the basically after you enter in the mansion from the main queue, you are inside the show building the entire time, and the ride is going to intersect with the queue multiple times. And nothing in this episode per se as far as the layout is 100% complete. It's just getting the walls up, getting everything relatively put in place to just kind of get some of the ideas flowing, and how many basically show rooms there are going to be in the show building. And what I mean by that is how many like setups, how many stages are we going to have, how many rooms are we going to have. And once I start laying that out, it's also going to start helping me realize how many animations we're going to have to do. And right now we're looking at between 3 to 4 potentially, maybe even more. And I'm not talking like the subtle little animations like we have like Boo's pop up on portraits. I'm talking like main pieces of animation. So at the beginning of the ride, we're obviously going to have an introduction to Egad and Luigi, because that's the start of the adventure. And then as we go into the mansion, that's when we're going to have to like really open it up and have a really big showroom. So I'm thinking maybe kind of like a ballroom or something like that. Eventually it has to go up a flight of stairs, and then in the flight of stairs we're going to have a couple of like haunts and stuff like that. There's also going to be an exterior garden area where we might have like a piranha plant, almost like a House of Horrors reference, maybe a Little Shop of Horrors reference. That would be kind of fun. There's a couple ideas I got floating in my head, but if anyone has any like fun suggestions, please let me know in the comments down below. And we'll take a look at them and see if we can actually make that happen. And yeah, so this episode is really just kind of placing everything down, trying to figure out exactly what's going to go where, and just get a general idea of the flow of the ride. And like I said, nothing's like truly finalized at the end of this episode. It's really just getting things in place and figuring out all the show buildings, because I don't want to get over encumbered with the amount of animation that I'm gonna have to do on this project, because there is one more area to this park that I want to get to, so we can kind of finish up the Mario Park, relatively speaking. And that's going to be the Mario Kart ride over in the Princess Peach's castle. Now, a lot of people have had really awesome suggestions in terms of like having a Super Mario Odyssey area of the park, which I totally would be cool with, but eventually I just kind of want to finish up the Mario park in general, just so we can move on to like the next theme, the next thing, just because I will eventually get a little Mario'd out. But I've been like, it hasn't happened yet because I'm having a lot of fun with this. As far as like dark rides go, just in general, I try to make them relatively realistic. Some of the dark rides that I see, it's just some other builders make, or things that I've just seen online. I see a lot of like intersecting pieces or stuff that just wouldn't actually fit or work kind of in the real world. Again, I don't want to be like the super high realistic kind of person, because like a lot of those guys, like, they know everything, ins and outs of coasters. They know coaster types. They know, like, you know, the different types of materials that are being built with. They know the different types of like rail systems and stuff. Like, I do not know that stuff. All I know is like what I think looks cool, but at the same time I want to keep it relatively in the realm of possibility that, you know, if this was taken as a blueprint, maybe it could be made in the real world. And because of that, I want to try and set up the show buildings as realistic as possible, and not have, you know, intersecting pieces that wouldn't make sense. If that makes sense, I don't know. Like I said, it's early in the morning. I'm on like my 3rd cup of coffee and I'm still not awake yet. Speaking of coffee, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Oh man, I got some like salted caramel creamer, and let me tell you what, that is doing the trick for me. That is delicious. I guess it's not pumpkin spice though, so I couldn't be considered basic, but I actually like pumpkin spice, so no judgment there. But this salted caramel is delicious. I love it. I'm probably gonna drink more coffee before the day is over because I got a lot of work to do. I'm trying to come up with the next cover song that I want to record, and it's kind of a toss-up between a couple of things. Actually, while I'm on that topic, I've got a couple of people that said they could not watch the cover song I did for Nightmare Before Christmas, and here's the thing. Really lame situation, but I totally understand why it happened. So even though the vocal performance is my own, I voiced all the characters, I did all the singing, the background track is still a copyrighted song, so Disney still claims ownership over it. and because they claim ownership over it, I don't make any money off of the ad revenue, which is totally understandable. It's not 100% my own product, so I can't claim that it's mine entirely. So that I don't have a problem with. But the thing that irks me just a wee bit is they also have control how the video is seen. So what it seems like right now is, if you are not in the US, it won't let you watch the video, which is super, super lame. And the only reason I can think of that is because I have some supporters that are in England, and I have one in Canada, and they told me that they couldn't watch it. So I don't know if 100% if it's like a region thing that they're doing. I have no idea. But to kind of counteract that, I do also have that video up on my Facebook page, and any future covers that I do, I'll also throw on my Facebook page. So if you can't watch it, you can watch it there. So I just wanted to throw that out there just in case anybody was trying to watch those videos and couldn't, just because I would love for people to check that out. I had a lot of fun making it, and I hope to do more in the future. But back to the Luigi's Mansion side of things, we are going to be cutting to kind of not like a finished look type of thing, but I'm just going to kind of run down exactly what we're doing with the layout of Luigi's Mansion. So let's cut to the real-time footage. And look at Luigi's Mansion. Isn't it so beautiful? But it's daylight. We got to change that. And a snap of the finger, and boom, it is nighttime. All right, so let's check out this mansion. All right, so far we have the entryway. It's looking pretty good. I might want to add a couple more things in the future. We got EGAD's laboratory to the right. And as you walk up the mansion, walk up the entryway to the mansion, we're gonna zoom inside. Little zooming sound effects there for you. So now we are in kind of the main area for the queue. The ride is actually going to go up on the second level multiple times, so you're going to be able to see people actually like on the ride, which I think is super cool. And it's semi-realistic because there's no way that the people on the ride could interact with the people in the queue and vice versa, because that's something that you would always kind of want to take into account, that like, you know, people wouldn't want to do something like mess with the ride or anything like that. I've seen people do some crazy stuff on rides. I saw a video of a kid who literally jumped into the water of Jurassic Park the ride to get his hat, and he crossed the track where the boat actually comes down, and could literally dismember somebody for a hat. So I believe people could do some crazy things. So as we go from the kind of like the graveyard area where you'll also see parts of the ride, we go into the actual building where you load into the ride. From there, we go into EGAD's lab one more time, where we're going to have kind of a conversation between Luigi and EGAD, so that'll be an animation piece. We're going to zoom out, we're going to have kind of a forest area where there's going to be some kind of interaction with maybe a piranha plant or something like that, and then the main grand reveal of Luigi's Mansion itself. It looks super cool. I'm really excited for it. Of course, we have to have some doors that close on us as we approach, super rude. And then from here, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to do. We're going to have a couple of rooms in here, so if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. We're going to go up a staircase. We're going to have a very long hallway. This is going to be a long hallway scene as we go up and over the queue, and then we're going to go into the other part of the mansion, which actually interacts with the queue. And then to the left, we're going to probably have another scare, because that's also down a hallway. And we're going to rotate around. The cars are probably going to look down onto the people down below. Then we're going to go to the left, where this room might have Mario in the portrait trying to knock on it and be like, help me, get me out of here. And then out here, we're going to have the balcony final scene with the big bad boss. And in this section, then we're gonna have kind of like a victory thing where, yay, Luigi saved the day type of thing, and then it's gonna roll back down into the exit queue. And that's really going to be Luigi's Mansion as a whole. I think it's doable. We got a lot of work ahead of us, but it's going to be super duper fun. I'm looking forward to it. I hope you all are as well. Stay tuned for more Planet Coaster content, and if you can, check out my other videos and even my other channel. I would super appreciate it. I love you all. I hope you're having an amazing day, and thank you for watching. And as always, a huge thank you to my Patreon supporters. You all are awesome, and you make my life so much easier. Thank you so much. If you want to help out the channel, check out the Patreon. If you like this content and you want to see more, check out the video to the top right. And if you're interested in checking out that art, animation, and voice acting channel, check the video out at the bottom right. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, I will chat with you later.